My high school bully asked me for help, and I discovered the truth about him. All through high school, I was convinced Brett Collins was the biggest jerk in the world. He shoved kids in the hallway for fun, cheated off other people's tests, and once made a girl cry just by mocking her speech in front of the whole cafeteria. So when I ended up stuck in Saturday detention with him during senior year for something I didn't even do, thanks to a mix-up in the attendance sheet, I was ready to spend 6 hours avoiding eye contact and praying he wouldn't talk to me. But halfway through, when Mr. Lander, the teacher supervising us, stepped out to take a call, I noticed Brett staring at his phone with this weird, pale look on his face. A few minutes passed, and then he just stood up suddenly, walked over to me, and said, "I need your help." At first I thought it was a joke or some setup to humiliate me, but something about the way he said it made me follow him into the hallway. He told me his little brother, who I didn't even know he had just texted him saying their dad was having one of his episodes. Apparently Brett's dad was bipolar and sometimes stopped taking his meds, and when that happened, he could get violent or disappear for days. Brett said his brother was home alone with him, and their mom worked overnights, and they couldn't call the cops because last time they did, Child Protective Services got involved, and they almost got separated. I stood there like an idiot, trying to process this totally new version of the guy I'd written off as a future felon, and he just looked at me and said, "I know you live near me. I've seen you on the bus. Can you drive?" My parents had just given me their old car last month, and I knew if I called them to ask for permission, they'd say no, but I said yes anyway. The whole way there, Brett barely spoke, except to tell me his brother's name was Max, and he was 9. When we got to the house, it looked totally normal from the outside. Lawn mowed, porch light on, but inside, it was chaos. Papers everywhere, furniture moved, TV blaring static. Max was hiding in the closet. Brett found his dad in the garage, shirtless, sweating, talking to himself. I stayed with Max while Brett somehow got his dad to sit down and drink some juice and take a pill from the cabinet. The whole thing felt like a dream. Afterward, Brett didn't thank me exactly. He just looked at me and said, "This is why I don't care what people think of me." Then he walked us both home, like nothing happened. Back at school, he went right back to being his usual sarcastic self, but he never picked on anyone again that I saw. And a few days later, he dropped a note in my locker that just said, "You helped more than you know." I still don't like him, not really. But now when people complain about Brett being a jerk, I don't say anything, because I know what they don't.